Let me respond to some of your questions. With respect, we had a workshop recently where HHFDC, David Oy came over and explained that one of the things that was clarified was that as a tenant, when your income goes up, it doesn't disqualify you. So there's no displacement with your income. Should you get a better job, get more income. I also wanted to report that the legislature recently passed a bill in which we're going to separate the land from the financing package that's used with the LIHTC rent-to-own, in which the homesteader or homestead lease will be issued upfront rather than waiting for the 15 years, which has been a real problem in the sense that should the person that's participating die within the 15-year period, there's no heir. It's just kind of the way that the funding is set up. That has also changed. So now there will be a homestead lease issued upfront for the land, and the financing, which will stay in place, which still has to be complied with in order to access these subsidies, as well as an opportunity for those that are otherwise would have been bypassed because of their income. They would probably not qualify for a mortgage because they just don't make enough income. So we've made changes to the program, but I think what you're raising is a very valid point regarding the lack of a full explanation to the participants and not a clear understanding of when they participate in certain things that need to be considered and decided on before you participate in the program, which is a voluntary choice. But you and I can kind of sit and we'll talk more, and I'll have some staff help you to get specific answers to your situation.
Well, what is happening now is they signed a lease agreement. Now, in May, they're going to approve an agreement that they don't even have to sign.
I'm not sure. I got to go take a look at all that stuff.
Here it is.
Okay, you can keep it.
So, get all this kind of shenanigans going on that is really not clear. And the other thing they're doing now is they're telling the renters, okay, because they're not lessees, they're not, I don't know if even beneficiaries, they're telling them, do not have secret meetings without them. What is that?
Yeah, that type of issues that need to address.
Plenty issues, and nobody's on top of it. Okay, they have meetings with you folks, and there's no resolution whatsoever.
Okay, let me hear all this stuff you got to say.
Okay.
We'll take a look at it. Thank you.
Okay.
Mahalo, Glenn. Chair, you mentioned that the legislature has passed the bill to issue leases to these tenants.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that. So, yeah, we'd like to see.
I understand it is, but it's passed.
To see the details of that. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Glenn.
And Glenn, mahalo for your testimony. I agree with many of the concerns you continue to bring up. Hopefully this is a work in progress, and we can begin to address all of the concerns that are in front of us.
I spend a lot of time in the community. I'm going to be there in next week, okay? And there's a lot of uncertainty. The people don't know if they're coming or going. They got problems, and somebody got to step in there and help them. I mean, even with this, we're going to provide legal counsel for them if they should automatically approve this lease. Okay.
We'll take a look at it. Thanks, Glenn.
Chair, did I just add one thing? I mean, I've requested before, but for the record, I'd like to request that the developer agreements and the management agreements be provided to the commission. We're sort of working in the fog. We don't know what the agreements say. And if there are problems with the agreements and there's a misunderstanding, then the commission needs to look at it and see if we can get some corrections and move forward.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner
Chair, I want to add our enforcement team has been really doing a bang-up job in reaching out to associations for situations that, that they can report. Can the folks at Laopua also use our enforcement team?
Okay.
So I just asked the enforcement team to send out that monthly email and include those folks there.
Any other comment? Okay, our next testifier, Patty Teruya. Patty, would you like to testify now or when the action item that you're interested in comes up for action? Your choice.
I did want to do now, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Proceed.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I can't get in. 1 second, I apologize. The whole video has stopped. Stop my video. Okay, all right, thank you so much. I apologize for the delay. Thank you. Aloha, aloha Maui, aloha commissioners and Molokai, excuse me. My name is Patty Kahanamoku Teruya, lessee of Nanakuli, also one of the formal DHHL commissioner. I did want to open up and congratulate Sanoa and Walt on their appointment to the commission for DHHL. My testimony is on F1, and it will come up on your agenda is the approval of revocable permits program. I did want to bring up some concerns on this proposal, and I know that you had a PIG in discussing this and it will be presented. But part of this was on number 4 of your submittal, it's approving continue to improve current practice. I do have concerns with that, commissioners, and please take a look at that. Right now we have ROEs, right of entries that are not in compliance. And if we're going to move to revocable permit, we need to take a look at now. We need to look at the right of entries that are not in compliance. I brought up in June 2023 the non-compliance of a right of entry in it's the Hawaii Paintball in Kalailoa. They have been there since 2018, and they have not been approved by the commission on their yearly authorization to be there, also in the DHHL annual report. So these are the concerns. We haven't heard anything about it on this particular right of entry candidates that are still there. The other is to improve our outreach to beneficiaries, organizations on properties that are available that they can apply. What is the application process? That has to also be really improved with the department. And also to have compliance is to do investigations on existing right of entries. There are a lot of concerns. And so, and I continue to bring this up. If we're going to move to another program, we need to make sure that the first existing program is working and is going to be working for beneficiaries. And lastly, with the revocable permits, are we going to allow, the department are going to allow people to live on the revocable permit property? Currently, right now, right of entries all over in Kalailoa and the Waianae Coast, we have we have right of entry permits, and they have hold permits since 1989 or 2001, and people live on their ROE permits. And so, that has to be fixed. It's broken. It has to be fixed before we move on to a new program. And lastly, I just want to close. I don't want to hold so many of your time, but I just wanted to close that we need to remember that our first obligations is to provide, better life and future for all Hawaiians and our beneficiaries. So thank you for this opportunity. Have a blessed meeting. Aloha Molokai, and thank you, commissioners. Aloha.
Thank you, Patty. Next testifier, Jermaine Myers.
Aloha, commissioners. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Aloha, commissioners. My name is Jermaine Myers. I'm a Nanakuli Hawaiian Homestead lessee. Commissioners, I come to testify on Agenda C1 for the acceptance of the 2024-2025 Native Hawaiian Housing Block Grant, NHHBG Annual Housing Plan. I ask that you all vote no to the motion. At last month's Hawaiian Homes Commission meeting in Lahaina, Lehua submitted a draft of the NHHBG Annual Housing Plan 24-25 for commission review. I emailed Lehua on March 21 several questions and concerns about our presentation. Yesterday, April 21, a month later, at 6 p.m. in the evening, Lehua responded to my email and copied all of you. Lehua's email response provided details of Nahasda transactions that came before the commission since Lehua assumed responsibility of NAHASDA on March 15, 2020, the start of the pandemic. Based on Lehua's email and the annual housing plan draft submitted last month and final plan for acceptance submitted this month as C1, which includes revisions, I will be submitting a request to the federal government via Claudine Allen that a full investigation be completed on the DHHL NAHASDA and NHHBG program from 2012 to present, most especially an investigation of NAHASDA staff Lehua Kini Laukano and Cynthia Resentes and DHHL chairmans Joby Masakatani, William Ayla, Ikaika Anderson, and Cully Watson. During the draft presentation last month in Lahaina of the NHHBG Annual Housing Plan 24-25, Lehua did not discuss or highlight for commissioners why the NHHBG budget was $50 million, but Chair Cully Watson was submitting only $21.3 million for the annual grant amount on page 4, the cover page. The fiscal year 24-25 grant is $28.7 million short of the budget. Where's the money coming from? Why didn't Lehua explain this shortfall to the commissioners and how the monies would be acquired? An investigation will reveal a pattern of past chairmen requesting for funds from the commissioners with a plan that was never implemented according to the goals and budget presented to the commissioners for approval. When I reviewed Lehua's oral presentation last month, she never brings to commissioners' attention 4 critical components for your consideration, especially to educate the new commissioners, Walter Kaneakua and Stanoi Morfell. These 4 critical components are Section 1, 5-year plan for 2023 to 2027, Section 2, housing needs, which includes the results of DHHL's 2020 beneficiary study, lessee report by SMS Research, which is used for justification of the goals and plan. Section 3, program descriptions and how 1.9 plan outputs for 12-month fiscal year shows 0 output for several goals. Section 5, budgets which include unspent monies from past approved goals and budgets. Section 5, budgets review that DHHL will have an estimated $49 million at the beginning of fiscal year 24-25. That's how the chairman is going to be able to redirect unspent funds from previous years to his new goals and priorities. Why were goals and budgets set in previous years but never fulfilled? Why is there a $49 million surplus that was never explained to commissioners by NAHASDA staff, Lehua Kini Laukano? I'm almost done.
Thank you,
I'll share
Jermaine.
with you one example of how monies didn't get spent after commission approval. In Lehua's email, she specified that at the Hawaiian Homes Commission meeting in June of 2021, Lehua presented the commissioners a workshop on Hawaiian Homes Commission policy actions for the NAHASDA program. I reviewed the packet details of her presentation, and I also watched a video of the meeting. Commissioner Patty Kahanamukuteruya asked Lehua about the program policy
Thank
for
you, Jermaine.
potential
Thank you.
acquisition. This
Jermaine,
relates
thank
to
you.
acquisition,
Thank you.
Chair, and where
Thank you.
monies
Your
was.
time is up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mahalo.
Okay. Next testifier, Jojo Tanimoto.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. I'm not going to turn on my camera because it kind of distracts what I'm thinking. So, mahalo everybody, aloha. My name is Jojo Tanimoto, and I live in Kauai High Homestead. You know, I'm looking at everybody on the panel, and I really appreciate looking at all the collaborative skills that this commission possesses. But mahalo for the opportunity to object to item F1, and that is the request to implement the new revocable permit program. And that is, I never got any communication to either clarify whether Kauai High is going to be a part of this or any address to any of what I testified last month. And so I feel like I have no choice but to come back. And I'd rather do it separately than my J agenda because I have other issues I want to do. And the last time I made a testimony on revenue, which is what these leases are supposed to make, it was an example. There was a lessee that wanted to open a strip bar that was located right across the street from the new Mackay subdivision that had children. And number two was this traffic and the parking situation. But there was no beneficiary consultation. There was no way that the community could say anything. And that's an example of what I see going on with this F item. And like Patty Teruya, we do have problems. No communication, compliance, and all of this stuff. So it seems to me that we need your attention to the problems in Kauai High. Number one, the general lessee is the concrete company. When the wind blows like it was for the last 2 weeks, it fly across the highway. You cannot see the middle line. The other thing that you cannot see is the ROEs in our subdivision. I happen to have one behind my house. People use the road. It's a very steep incline. You lose your brakes, you end up in my backyard, right up against my kitchen window. And we had a meeting with Mr. DuPont from Waimea and Kuli Kamara. We went up there, we spoke about the wildfire issues, but I brought that up. And you can see, and they agreed, my house is right there. The boy with the skateboard went through my bushes that I had as my boundary line, but it was so steep. His board went up in the air, broke my kitchen window, and his okole went right through all my mock orange bushes. Yeah, right, laugh, funny, yeah, but you try to see these people, you know, I mean, you lose your brakes, it's gonna be my insurance. You know, nobody comes to check on that kind of stuff. And like the matrix that was given with this presentation last month, there's nothing about the staff going up to inspect what's going on. There's nothing that says anything that they even address the issues. And that's the biggest problem we have is communication. So they just avoid it. And then the commission is allowed to make a decision decided by whoever's going to give these leases. And so the last time it was for nine leases. It did not include Kauai High, but I have a hunch it's going to continue into Kauai High without any beneficiary consultation. It does say it's going to have some. I forget which ones exactly, but there are a couple that does not include beneficiary consultation. Those are the ones that I have a problem with. And the right of entry being one of them, of course, because we have all the flooding, the erosion, the watershed. We even got involved with the community, and we're trying to get the other organizations because they have the same problems. We've had meetings with the Water Commission and all of those guys. So we're trying to work from our end. But it's the department and the commissioners that are avoiding us. And I'd like your help by rescheduling this and providing the community to at least have a say in what is impacting
Hey,
us.
Jojo, can you wrap it up? Your time is up.
Thank you, I will. And well, in fact, that I'll just leave it at that. We'll wait for your consideration and somebody communicate with us, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jojo. Mackay.
Okay, Auntie, thank you for your testimony. I know I was on the email thread with you and staff the last week or so, or 2 weeks. I know there's a lot of ongoing problems there. If I remember correctly, the email stated from staff that they're going to reach out to you or vice versa to try to take steps in the right direction to fix some of these problems. Did you get all those emails? Okay. you know what, I'll circle back with staff and get with Auntie Jojo when the meeting is done. But staff has emailed her, and we are working together to fix the problems.
Okay, last call for public testimony on the agendized items. Okay. Let me also correct my prior statement regarding the land trust bill that separates tax credits from the land. That was passed out of the Senate Conference Committee, and it was passed out. So we anticipate the full legislative body approving it and then going to the governor for signature. Okay, what's the next? Okay, consent agenda. Juan?
Good morning, Chair, members of the Commission. For the record, Juan Garcia. I'm the Homestead Services Division Administrator. And consent agenda, Homestead Services has 8 items for your consideration. D2 is the approval of consent to mortgages. D3, ratification of loan approvals. D4, approval of homestead application transfers and cancellations. D5, approval to certify applications of qualified applicants for the month of March 2024. D6 is the approval of commission designation of successors to application rights. D7, approval of assignment of leasehold interests. D8, approval of amendments of leasehold interests. And finally, D9, approval of issuance of non-exclusive license for rooftop PV systems.
Any questions on any of the items listed? If not, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Thank you, Juan.
Thank you, Commissioners. Moving on to D10. D10 is a request for relocation, and Homestead Services Division is asking for your approval for the relocation of Jesse Leilani Wallace from Lot 25, Kapa'akea, Molokai, to any available residential lot here on Molokai for a period not to exceed April 30th, 2027, unless further extended with the approval of the Hawaiian Homes Commission. I believe Auntie Wallace is in the audience this morning. Well, she was scheduled to be.
Sure. One, so
Yeah.
set up to 2027.
Yes, so as inventories come to the department, it'll be offered to those on the relocation list, including Auntie Wallace, and she'll have until 2027 to accept one of those available inventory.
So how soon will awards be, vacant lots be available for someone like Auntie Leilani?
We have a couple of vacant lot or homestead lots available. We will, again, I'm not sure whether or not there's a relocatee before her. And if there is, we'll offer that individual any available lots. When she's up for selection, we will offer whatever lots are available at that time. And she'll decide as we offer her lot, she'll need to make a decision whether she wants to relocate to that lot. And then we will amend her lease in accordance with the lot that she selected. So we'll have to re-describe her lot for her homestead lease.
So one, so that means that she has to give up her current lot in Kapa'akea?
That is correct. That's part of the relocation.
Here's your cup. Oh, better late than never. Juan, I don't know if that mic is working. Oh, it is. Okay, good.
You gotta speak right up to the mic.
Okay.
So they hear you.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Molokai. My name is Jessie Leilani Pe'elua Wallace. I'm here to testify to update on my request last year that I had submitted a letter to Juan to take back with him to Honolulu about the relocation from Kapakea to Kalamba'ula Mauka. I chose to go to Kalamba'ula Mauka only because Kapakea is going to be, everybody in our community is going to be relocated. What day, what year, what month, we don't know, but we were told that we are going to be relocated because our community is a flood zone. We didn't ask to go into Kapakea, we were put into Kapakea. So as the years went by, then they finally said that Kapakea is a flood zone. And when the king tide comes up, it goes into the yard, the backyard of the homesteaders on the ocean front. So I don't want to wait, like what would happen to Lahaina, got burned. What if this water come right over into Kapakea and take us? What would happen? So I decided that I wanted to start now, chose to be, and to ask if I could be relocated. So, and I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I might be going to La La Land. So instead of wait to go La La Land, start planning now. So my successor will be fine and don't have to do any paperwork. So that's my plan and my choice. With your help, and Mr. Watson, please help us. Please help our community, Kapakea. We need help. And we're not getting any report about the waterfront from Nancy Pearson. We had asked her many times to come forward to talk to us and explain to us. We didn't get any answer from her. So with your blessings, I hope and pray that I can be relocated. And my choice was to go to Kalamba'ula, Mauka. I was born and raised in Kalamba'ula, and I want to come home back to Kalamba'ula. So I thank you all for listening to my request. So you're doing good with my paperwork? Yes. Okay. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much, you all, and have a happy, blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you.
And just so you know, we are taking action to grant your request. Just so you, sorry. Oh, or Zach, maybe you can let her know.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, just wanted to let you know that we are taking action to grant your request, okay, for your relocation approval.
Okay. Anybody else before I dismiss?
No, that's it.
Chair,
Oh, okay.
It's all okay.
Chair, Chair, I just have a question for the department. Once the lot is given up, once entity gets relocated, we're not reissuing those lots, correct?
I don't know the answer to that question, Commissioner.
Well, let me give you a suggestion. They're gonna be underwater. I don't think we should be reissuing those
Yeah,
lots.
I agree with you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Auntie.
Thank you. Good. Oh, we got to, you guys got to vote? Okay. Okay, there's, Chair will entertain a motion to take action on this item. Back. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried.
Moving on to D11. D11 is the approval of a request by lessee Lucretia Lindsay to subdivide Department of Hawaiian Homelands Pastoral Lease Number 2686 lot number 2 in Niue, Hawaii, consisting of 301.423 acres, further identified as TMK 46012002 into 3 lots, proposed lot 2A, 2B, and 2C, subject to conditions that you have before you. I want to highlight condition number 7, which requires the lessee to comply with Chapter 343 of the Hawaii Revised Statutes, which requires that an environmental assessment be done. Because this case involves the subdivision of a complex subdivision, which basically means that out of the 1 lot, the 301 acres, there'll be 3 lots, which again, she intends to transfer 2 lots to her sons, 2 sons, and a 3rd lot to her nephew. We've had, again, precedent setting several years ago where the commission did consider an exemption of this requirement.
I'm sorry, okay, you had a question or comment on the prior action item, or?
No, this current item D11, whenever time provides. Just real quick, I am in favor of what Juan is proposing here. A little bit of background on this particular ohana. Anthony Decrecio is getting older in age. The three other individuals that she's subdividing his lease to, they're all beneficiaries. They're all 50%. So this is also reducing the wait list, and it gives them the opportunity to raise their families on this piece of land, which is being, definitely being worked. They run cattle, they have chickens, they have all kinds of animals, fruit trees that they use this land for. So I would first like to thank the staff as well as Jim DuPont for going through this process and making this possible for our beneficiaries, especially Juan. Thank you, brother, for everything. And I'm in support of making this adjustment.
Any testimony from witnesses?
I'm sorry?
Any testimony from witnesses?
No, I don't believe the lessee is online, but I was hoping Jim was available if there was any additional questions.
I don't think so.
Chair, I have a additional question. You referred to item 7, but in the final comments on page 3, it says due to financial burden, the homesteaders would not endure department staff recommendation number 7 of the above. What does that mean?
Well, we're basically suggesting or making the recommendation then that requires her to do the environmental assessment that this commission consider exempting this lessee from going through the 343 process.
Oh, okay, thank you, because 7 doesn't say that, at least the way I read it. It says they must comply. So
they must comply currently, that is a requirement. But we're asked, HSD is making the recommendation, similar action by the commission several years ago, exempting this lessee as the commission exempted a previous action to exempt.
Yes, and I understand your explanation, but it's not in the document.
Yeah, why don't we amend it to?
Did I miss it?
Do the exemption.
Yes, we're making it as a motion because staff is obligated to.
But I don't see it in here that says you're exempting it. Can you point me to that?
You're correct. We're not.
So that's all I'm saying. If we're gonna exempt it, it should be in the document. I don't
Yeah,
have
why
a
don't
problem
we do that?
exempting it,
Amend the
but
motion, exempt that.
what do you do here?
Should I request the commission to make the amended motion?
Yeah, you can do that.
I mean, if the commission would like to amend the motion to delete.
Yes, please, because what you have it in, you have it under discussion. And it really
Yes.
should be under what the proposal is.
Yes.
Right.
So if you could amend that, please.
Okay. You want to make?
Yeah, I'd make a motion. Thank you, Commissioner Evans, for bringing that up. That's a great point. I'd like to make a motion to amend this. Just little bit of background too, and Juan, correct me if I'm wrong. When you subdivide a lot, if you go from one lot to two lots, you don't need any kind of environmental procedures, right? But because in this situation, going from one lot to three lots, it kicks off that environmental, the EPAs and those kind of environmental impact statements, those kind of things, right?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Yeah. So I think start having this precedence moving forward. A lot of these bigger lots, especially in the area we're talking about, as the older generation gets older because of pass on, they're gonna probably want to do similar things like this, and I think this is a good precedence moving forward for beneficiaries. So I would like to make a motion to remove, I don't know the exact language, but to remove this particular component number 7 and to amend it. I'm sorry.
Chair, so if I could amend the motion.
Well, I think he's making a motion. You want to second it?
Yes, well, no, I think the motion.
Or articulate the motion.
Yeah, the articulate motion, please. So the motion should be that we're exempting the requirement under number 7.
Right.
To have to do a 343 compliance with chapter 343. Okay. And if we exempt, we're basically saying that we are exempting them from required to do chapter 343.
That's correct.
That's the new motion.
In essence, it's removing paragraph number 7 from the condition of this commission's approval.
Okay, so that would be a second. It's been moved and seconded to amend, so deleting the requirement for 343 because we're involving 3 parcels. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried.
Thank you, commissioners. I apologize for the confusion. Again, mahalo.
Thank you.
The chair.
Thanks, Juan.
Okay, and let's make take the action on the amended motion.
Yeah.
Is there a motion, assuming Mackay, and then with a second from Dennis? I'm assuming, but why don't you guys say that?
Yeah.
Okay, you're making the motion, move forward on the amended motion. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried.
So,
Comments?
Chair, I have 3 items I'd like to discuss with the department. Is this appropriate time to do it, or you want to defer it to later?
Whatever you want to do, guys.
Okay, so one, I have a question about applications, successorship application. We've had this discussion. It seems like on a successorship application, if the applicant provides a successor and provides a successor, there's no requirement, under the current rules as to the amount of time they have to turn that information in. Is that correct?
That is correct, Commissioner. And based on our previous discussions with regards to this matter, HSD will be coming before you, the commission, next month to provide a workshop on that specific item with regards to, again,